What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be bringing to you the channel's first and probably only headlamp review. This is the Surefire Minimus, and it is their entry-level headlamp that clocks in at around $200. Quickly going over the specs, this is honestly nothing to write home about. The Minimus pumps out 300 lumens on max output off of a standard CR123A with pretty average runtime to boot. However, I do measure parasitic drain at around 14 years to discharge the battery, and this is definitely an improvement over the old model, which would discharge in under a year. That kind of made it impossible to store the old model for extended periods of time. Now let's quickly take a look at the beam here. The Minimus is using Surefire's Max Vision reflector, which throws out a very wide diffused beam. Just to be clear, it's not at all like the cheap, zoomy stuff you'll sometimes see from lower end flashlights. This is definitely not a thrower though, and it excels most at close range. Even at medium range is where it starts to struggle to punch a little bit. Alright guys, just thought I'd make a quick video showing the Minimus headlamp in action. So this is in a more rural landscape, so it's going to be a little bit more open just in general, and you can see that the camera is having trouble picking up the exposure, which is why I also don't really trust anything I see on screen relative to real life, but it does punch out to maybe a shortish medium distance at most on the high setting. And yeah, you can see it died right down there just because I haven't changed out the battery since the runtime test actually. Anyways, that is a lesson in practice of as to why you always carry a spare flashlight. And so yeah, my second flashlight is the Overready Boss. I pretty much take this one everywhere with me, and it's a good thing we had it because I actually wasn't expecting the Minimus to die on me, even though I had ran down the batteries pretty considerably on it. As for the LED itself, I'm guessing this is the same one that they're using in the Surefire Titan Plus. I'd put it at around 4500 Kelvin, and there's definitely a bit of a yellow tint to it. Just in general, Surefire tends to fall behind the curve when it comes to pure performance, but their design fundamentals are very, very good. And in this regard, the most exciting thing about the Minimus is actually its user interface. You can see that there's a dial on the right side of the headlamp along with the button. The way this works is you hit the button for on-off, and then you can turn this dial clockwise for more output and vice versa for less. What's kind of weird here is that unlike most other rotary interfaces, this one doesn't ramp linearly. It ramps proportional to the speed at which you actuate it, and I'll give a little demo here. So we click it to turn it on, and if I turn it clockwise, you can see it's slowly ramping up. And if I turn it counterclockwise, it'll ramp down. Now if I turn it clockwise quite quickly, you'll see that it ramps up very fast. And you can see that that's max output actually. And the same principle holds true if I go counterclockwise quickly. And you can see that we're at the lowest output setting again. Also, if you hold the button for several seconds, you'll get a locator beacon on the lowest setting. Although it's highly unlikely, it's still a nifty feature just in case you're stranded or you want someone to notice you while you're hiking or walking out at night. So yeah, very intuitive user interface, and this is cool for a couple of reasons. First, most headlamps rely on a traditional button set. If you think about it, you can't actually see those buttons because, well, they're on your head, right? Sure, you can get by with muscle memory, but for the most part, it's a little bit cumbersome, and it's definitely a lot more annoying than just a rotary dial in practice. Second, most headlamps limit you to fixed outputs. If you can selectively ramp and always use just the right amount of output, you'll actually save a lot of battery life in the long run. Alright, so let's talk conclusions. At $200, there's plenty of headlamps out there that beat the Minimus from a technical standpoint. That is to say, output and runtime. However, the user interface on the Minimus is nothing short of excellent, and is what makes it really excel in practice. Personally, I think anywhere from $100 to maybe $130 is a fair price to pay for this headlamp. The main limitation here is its use of a disposable CR123A, which basically relegates it to niche status. So I'd only recommend the Minimus if you are planning to use it sparingly, like say in a bug out bag, or if you're okay with burning CR123As on a regular basis. As always, I hope you guys found this review helpful. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and to subscribe for future content. Peace out until next time.